absolutely dropping the ball? Can we for once be the team that has the splash this offseason? So, Jacob, I would ask you directly, since you brought it up, I would ask you directly the question. And I would assume that either has to do with the Kevin Durant trade, which we'll touch on from the Pistons side in a second, or the Jrue Holiday trade yesterday, which I have no earthly idea what the Trailblazers are doing.
Makes no sense.
Makes no sense whatsoever. For those that missed it, Anthony Simmons, right?
Yep. Anthony Simons,
Bill Simmons, Anthony Simon.
Yeah.
Anthony Simon, a couple second-round picks to the Celtics for Jrue Holiday. And his 3 years, $105-ish million remaining on his, probably more, probably about 110. 3 years, 110-ish million remaining on his contract at about 36-ish per year, where there is a player option in 3 years when he's 38. No, thank you. No, thank you.
It doesn't make sense, at all.
I know why the Celtics did it.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to get under that second apron. That sheds about 10, 11 million. They're about 20 million a year away from being under the second apron.
Kristaps Porzingis.
Boom, boom.
How you doing?
Yeah. And that's going to be the story. That's what they're trying to do. And look, I went to multiple basketball people and asked them, people that I really respect, that understand the financial side of it and all that. I said, this Durant trade, because I know everyone's going to freak out about it, and there are going to be people in the chat that says, RM Dole 19, it's because Kevin Durant doesn't do calf raises. We are a sports town that likes well-developed calves. That's probably true. What would the Pistons trade for KD look like? The basketball people told me Ivy, Holland, Tobias, because it's got to be Tobias, so the numbers match, and probably 5 seconds. And the logic would be the Ivy is the player component that Houston gave up. Holland is the top 10 pick component that they gave up. And then Tobias is the money thing, and then the 5 seconds. And that's pretty much the equivalent or what it would take. So I ask you, J-Gab, because I would hope that we can agree that no one here is interested in Jrue Holiday.
Yeah.
I was 8
not
years.
For that price.
I was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
But I'm not now. And it's to me, are you doing that for Durant?
Probably, yeah, I would probably.
Okay, probably.
Yeah. It was Ron Holland, Tobias Harris, and Ivy?
In 5 seconds.
Yeah, I'd probably do that.
Which would about be the equivalent.
Yeah.
So you would do that.
Yeah, but
for 1 year of Durant,
yeah,
which is going to be 2,
yeah,
because he's not coming here to say, oh, he's wherever he goes, he's going to get a 1+1 extension.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what he's going to do. So Motor City
R1. I know how he likes Detroit and stuff, and he likes Cade Cunningham, two Texas guys. He wouldn't have come here. He would have went to. He wanted to go back home. He wanted to go to Texas. So.
IT Hips. Trajan's doing nothing this offseason, guaranteed, while all the other teams improve in the East. IT, what are we talking about here? Give me a for instance.
I mean, not Boston. Orlando got better. Orlando, that's a great trade for Orlando. I think they jumped the Pistons with that trade. But I think the Pistons are going to do something. I just don't think it's going to be a blockbuster move just yet. Although fans would like to see it, because with Tatum out for the year, with Halliburton out for the year, with Damian Lillard out for the year, with Giannis wanting out in Milwaukee, with whatever the hell's going on in New York, the East is kind of wide open. So I think the Pistons are realistically a move right now, a superstar, not even a superstar, but superstar adjacent type player, a number 2 away from being in the finals next year. I think Kevin Durant would have made that happen. I think if you had Kevin Durant, I think you're in the finals next year. But
really,
if you keep Asar Thompson and Jalen Duren, you had Kevin Durant, and you re-sign Beasley, I think you're in the finals next year. And but I didn't expect them to get Kevin Durant, so I'm not freaking out about that. But I think a move like that could definitely push them over the top. Is that going to happen? Probably not. I think Trajan Langdon wants to see all of these young guys on the court together. Asar with the summer behind him, Ivy coming back from the injury before he makes a move. But yeah, I can see why people would be upset.
See, I'm not running to the phone to do the Durant.
Neither
thing.
am I.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not running to do that. I'm not, man. And like, is Durant? Because you have to think about it like this: is Durant playing 60 games? Because that's what he played last year.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
he's
the writing's on the wall, dude.
for sure. And he already obviously had the Achilles, so
And I'm not saying he's not great.
He's fantastic.
He's great. He's an elite shooter.
like
that doesn't go away.
almost 40 years old. Though,
Yeah,
so.
he's an elite shooter. But D-Mac, this is a battle I've been fighting a lot. Like the love for the transaction. And I'm not saying that I don't want them to not do anything, but I am saying that I'm not doing something for the sake of doing something. Are the fans kind of like kids at the toy store right now?
How can you be there right now with where you're at with this team? Now's not the time to make that decision. Maybe if we're in this position next year, this is when the conversation has to be had. Does anybody not agree? Let's just stay a little firm. I think that from what just reading between the lines is they're going to they want to see what they got with Ivy first, right? Like they're not just going to get so are we all in agreement, even everybody who's upset, that if there was a move made, Jaden Ivey is part of it?
Well, if you're
making a big move
Yeah.
right now, no matter what it is, to appease everybody, he's one.
It's Ivy and
Duran and whatever, but he's the piece. What Langdon and Bickerstaff and this organization is telling me is that they're gonna wait and see, because you're not. If this is a year from now and I just think you're a year away to be upset, right? It's the same. It's a lot of same with the Red Wings. You can have more frustration with them, but you can't be frustrated because they don't sit back and make a move. Why can Boston do that and be the beneficiary of such a move where we're going, why the hell did this other team take on this contract and do that? Because they've won. Because they're in a different spot. That's a spot we're trying to get to.
And their goals are different. That's
what I'm saying.
Money.
They're above us.
Yeah.
So our goals aren't their goals. So we can't operate like them. I don't want to get frustrated. Like, why is everybody getting frustrated and just let this man cook? Like, we always want to get ahead of Brad Holmes, get ahead of Trajan Langdon, get ahead of everybody else until what their play is. To me, it just tells me that they like the guys that they got, and they're going to go with them and see what they add to it. That's all.
Jacob, no Drew, yes on the KD deal. See, again, I'm not running for that. Simeon, you have something? What'd you have?
Might help in a weird way, because the injuries now make everyone go, oh, just buy now. Everyone's hurt. Dame, Tyrese, and Tatum. That might help, because they probably thought they could win it as constructed already, because we were that close this year. Why not take a shot at it this year? If you get there, whatever, now, and then when everyone's back healthy, then you take your big swing. You know what you have: a full season of Ivy, full season of Cade together.
No, and there is a camp of that too.
I would really like to see the Pistons try and go after Kristaps Porzingis. Like, I think that he would be much cheaper than a Lauri Markkanen, and obviously they're very similar in what they do, but when he could stay healthy, he's one of the best rim protectors and floor spacers in the league. Like, we saw how important he was for that Celtics finals run. He would definitely help this team. But I don't know how they would do it, because I don't know if you keep Tobias in that situation, and the Celtics aren't taking Tobias because they're giving up Porzingis for the money. But I would take Porzingis in a heartbeat.
Is it like this?
Yeah.
It's sort of like lining things up. They're almost there, but don't try to wrench it, into place, because we don't have to. Right? Like, is everybody confident that they're going to make some sort of move to help this team? Or are they just going to, or is that the fear that nothing's going to happen and we're going to run it back with the same lineup but maybe a healthier guy?